many of our students, the students you serve, are struggling with their own personal torture, struggling with their shortcomings, their circumstances, hating to be singled out, looking for love. How do I know that? Let's play a game. I'm gonna throw up a stat. You're gonna tell me if the stat is higher or lower than the one I put up, because the one that I put up is wrong. Higher or lower? By what percentage did college enrollment decline between 2019 and 2023? I put 15%. Do you think it's higher? Or do you think it's lower? It's 9%. Now you're gonna say, ooh, that's a lower number. That accounts for over 2 million students. And those 2 million students are coming from underserved communities. The communities that you are probably servicing with your grant right here, right now. Young people that should be in school, where college can be transformative for their families. They didn't go. Here's another number. What percentage of students feel persistently sad or hopeless? I put 30%. Is it higher or is it lower? 40%. Almost half of our students feel hopeless. I've asked my kids the same question. I've got a college student and a high school, and they said, yeah, there are moments we feel that way. That's the hangover of COVID, the fear and uncertainty. Last one. But what percentage did 18 to 24-year-olds attempted suicide increase? 25%. Higher or lower? 31%. And we know that that's underreported, because it's not like kids are walking around sharing that information. I share this information because the students you're about to work with, that's them. That's the way they feel. And because of that, they're looking for love. They're looking for a loving, caring adult that believes in them, that's going to help them get through, overcome their circumstances, get past their shortcomings. Someone that won't judge them for who they are or how they are, that instead of judging, they're curious. They want to know why.
There are fewer better returns on investment than higher education. And what Europe is all about is ensuring that the students who are most vulnerable are able to participate in those benefits as well, right? So that's what kind of brings us all together, okay? Now, y'all are educators. I don't need to get into why these problems exist, right? You see these things firsthand. But the research is pretty darn clear on what the barriers are and how we can overcome them. There's not a lot of mystery about why students aren't going on to higher education. We see inequitable distribution of social capital. What do I mean by social capital? Okay, just, you know, if you're a student and both your parents or a majority of individuals in your family have earned college degrees, expectations are different. Your ability to get really good, sound advice on choices are different. If you're the first in your family, who are you going to turn to? My school leaders know this firsthand, right? We see incredible disparities in K-12 education funding. We see incredible disparities in capacity. And we see incredible disparities, especially in support. Europe is not about going into your schools and selecting out of your 100 students, we're going to cherry pick 10 or 15 to provide services to. Europe is about going into schools and saying, hey, how do we strengthen the pathway as a whole? And then lastly, I mean, you all remember this, right? Finding a college, putting together a college major, financing college, it is just incredibly complex, right? It is unnecessarily complex. Between these three barriers, there's no wonder why students from low-income communities don't pursue higher education at rates that we see from their higher income peers. It feels like the cards are kind of stacked against them, right? So that's where kind of Garrett comes in.
You don't want Gear Up just to be another thing at your school. You want it to be the thing.
All of my favorite events were those events where we had students and we were bringing them to places that they had never, if not for a Gear Up opportunity, they wouldn't have been able to experience that. And there's just something about being on a college campus that opens a kid's brain to the fact that they too could be college material, particularly when it isn't the norm in their community, and I think it's really powerful.